Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favourite collections from one of my favourite makeup lines, and the collection is called Les Beiges by Chanel. Forgive my French pronunciation. It's a kind of seasonal collection that Chanel puts out of products that are not cutting edge in any way. They're products that just make your skin look better, but still recognisably you. I think they often call the powders, for example, Belmine, kind of healthy glow powders. And every season, really, since this has launched, they've brought out some repeat products, but different products. And I haven't, by any matter of means, bought all of them. The collection this year is actually quite large, and I don't think I've bought any of them. There are some blush sticks, some powders. I think there's actually an eyeshadow palette this time round, which is, I'm not 100% sure that's part of the Les Beiges collection, but I think it is. So I'll talk about why I haven't bought this year and what I have bought over a number of years. And I've also got some products like the perfume in the back, which isn't part of the Les Beiges collection, but really ties into this idea which is surrounding the colour beige, which of course was a neutral that Coco Chanel used herself in the fashion sense a great deal and has always been a staple of the Chanel collection ever since. So the first product that I bought from this collection, and I rather think it was the kind of time the makeup collection actually issued for the first time, was one of the powders that I still am carrying around. Nope, it's not that one, sorry, this one here. Still using, and I think it's probably, I'm going to say 2012, but it may even have been earlier. And this is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sheer Powder in number 30. And I remember vividly when these were launched in the UK, there were 5 colours. So here's my well-used Les Beiges, which you can see is starting to get a bit flaky. I have hit pan on it. I don't use it all the time because I do use as my main bronzer another Chanel product, the cream jelly product, which I've shown many times. I was very puzzled when these powders came out. Because they were called powders, I think I was not the only one who thought that they were meant to be worn as a kind of finishing powder. And I was therefore looking for the lightest of these, which was number 10, and very, very hard to get. And I didn't manage to get it. Happened to go on business or travel to Paris and went into a store where they had it, and was all set to buy it, and was kind of dissuaded from buying number 10 by the sales assistant, who said, no, these are not meant to be worn as finishing powders. They're actually meant to be worn as a kind of a shaper, highlighter, bronzer, contouring type product. And therefore the one you want is the mid-ranged one, which is number 30. And that's the one that I bought, and that's how I use it. I don't like bronzers. They're usually too orangey on me, but I do like to contour, and this is the contouring product of the powders that works best for me. I do use also a stick by Burberry, which is very easy for me for contouring, and I do use the Chanel, what's it called? Le Bronze de Chanel. It's the one in the big jar. Those are kind of my favourites, I think. But this one, I've used it a lot, you can see, actually hit pan. The brush is absolutely useless. I use it with a Chanel Kabuki. So that was my first Les Beiges. And I think I learned from that the colour scheme was very geared towards fair-skinned people like me. Now, they bring out those powders all the time. I think there's a bigger colour range now. And they bring out kind of split or tri-powders. I think the ones this season are 2 colours. This is from a couple of seasons ago. I carry it in my bag, really for touch-ups. It's not intensely pigmented, so you can kind of swirl all these together and use it as a kind of glow finishing powder. But I actually quite like, if I need to touch up on the train or whatever, to use them separately. And you can just about use the little brush with it. And I have a portable brush that I have in my bag. So although it's not terribly pigmented, to kind of touch up your blush, that will do. To touch up your contour, that will do. And to touch up your highlight, that will do. So it's a really useful, for me, on-the-go powder. This is their pale version. I remember they did a much darker trilogy, which if you were looking for a more dramatic effect would work. As I say, this is from a few years ago, but this kind of concept they do all the time in the Les Beiges. And they're just, you know, a really nice product to have. I just love the packaging. I like the split cream and black packaging, and they hold up really well. I mean, this gets banged around in my bags all the time, and it still looks really smart. There's just something really nice about taking it out to touch up with. The next products from Les Beiges that I got into were more their skin foundation CC creams. This is Les Beiges Healthy Glow Foundation. So this is a light foundation that they brought out a couple of years ago. You can see I'm getting towards the end of it. It's a really, really nice product. It's not a heavy coverage. It's a light coverage, but it definitely does even skin tone out. And it's just quite translucent, a bit glowy, as it says, healthy glow, with some SPF. Really nice, lightweight, everyday foundation, which I turn to a lot. I mean, I do use it for work when I tend to use kind of heavier makeup sometimes, especially in the summer. It's a tiny bit too dark for me at the moment because I'm horribly, horribly pale. I'm not sure which number this was, number 20, so quite low down the spectrum for me, but really, really like it. I like it's a pump action. It's a glass bottle. It's a bit gungy at the moment. The only thing I would say is, like all the Les Beiges and a lot of Chanel products generally, it does have quite a heavy fragrance. I happen to like the fragrance, but if you're a no fragrance person, then this collection is not going to be for you. And then another product which I absolutely adore is their CC cream. Now, I haven't adored all the incarnations of this. They did bring out a much heavier SPF, a SPF 50, I think, the year after the SPF 30 launched. And that was a disaster for me. It clung around in my pores in a very unattractive fashion. But the SPF 30, which I think they still do, this one's a few years old, getting towards the end of it, really nice, hygienic, useful tube. It's a wonderful CC cream. It does give a reasonable bit of coverage, but it feels quite damp and sticky on the skin. It's excellent in hot, humid times, so I wear it a lot in the summer. Just gives a healthy look without being overpowering, without covering everything. A real kind of no makeup look for me in the summer. You know, when I'm on holiday going to the beach, that's possibly the only thing I'm going to be wearing on my face, apart from sunscreen and maybe some lip balm. Talking of lip balms, I do like their lip balm. This is number 10, Les Beiges, Baume aux Lèvres. Very expensive for what it is. I mean, it is just a basic lip balm. It doesn't really give much colour, but it is soothing. It's easy to apply. It looks chic in your bag. You know, do you want to pay 20, I'm going to say £26. I'm not sure it was that, but it was certainly 20 something for a lip balm. Probably not if you're not a makeup junkie. But then if you like lip balm, you know, it's a good one. One of the newest products that they've brought out in the Les Beiges is the Cushion Foundation, and I'm a big, big fan. It's the Healthy Glow Gel Touch Foundation, and that's a good description because it does have a very gel, be great if I can get into it, feel to it. It gives good coverage, very easy to use, and gives this really luminous look. You can use it all over, and can you see that? How nice. And if you don't like a shiny, luminous look, then you're not going to like this because it's almost as if it's slightly highlighter E. But I like that in my foundation look. I don't use it a whole lot as my first point of foundation. I do sometimes. I use it as a touch-up and it's very effective. It does last very well. Again, quite highly fragranced. It's my favourite of the cushion foundations at the moment. That's how highly I rate it. I do like the Dior ones as well. Tried quite a few. Definitely worth looking at if you like cushion foundations. SPF 25, and again I'm using it in number 20, which is their second lightest, and that's a really good match for me. I will say I think the whole Les Beiges collection is geared towards Northern European complexions rather than actually some French complexions, but you know, that's my own opinion. I just thought I'd throw in, they're not formally part of Les Beiges, but because of beige being such a Chanel colour, there are literally dozens of nail polishes in beige colours, neutrals. This is one of my favourites, only a couple of years old, Precious Beige. They brought out, I think, 5 beige colours 2 years ago, and this was my favourite of them. I think this is very much, you know, what suits your skin tone. Different nudes or beiges suit different people. They can make my skin of my hands look quite red, but this one, which has a very faint micro shimmer, is just the perfect nail beige for me. And in the Les Exclusive fragrances, beige is one of my favourites. It's a very warm, sweet, white flower fragrance. I possibly wear it more in the summer evenings than during the day. It can be, I guess, a tiny bit cloying. I find it very similar to Tom Ford's Champaca Absolute. I prefer Champaca of the two. I think is slightly more nuanced than this. It has a slight spicy undertone, which this one does not have. But I love this. You can see I've nearly used this and I will repurchase. It's just a beautiful, classic white flower fragrance. Very, very feminine. You know, honestly, who could not like this? I'm sure there are some people who won't, because perfume is such a personal thing, but I think it's a beautiful fragrance. I don't find it as classically Chanel as a lot of fragrances in the Chanel range. I think there is a Chanel scent that is iris aldehyde based, which this is not. That you know that you can instantly smell and think, oh, that's Chanel. I don't think this one screams Chanel, but it's a beautiful classic fragrance. So there have been Les Beiges products that I haven't loved. I did buy some of their glow sticks, their blush sticks. There are some out at the moment. I didn't find them a patch on the NARS Multiples, which is a similar product, or even the Bobbi Brown ones. Trying to think what else I've passed on. Can't from the top of my head think of that. I do generally like this line. I think it's a very classic, polished look, particularly for career women or women who don't like to look hugely made up. It's a very French chic look. So those are my thoughts on the Les Beiges collection. Be interested to know if other people love it. What pieces you like are your favourites. Many thanks to those of you who gave tips on the Vamp stamp, which I talked about in my last video. I am going to tell you how I'm getting on with that. Hint, hint, not very well, even though I now know how to use it quite soon. So until then, bye for now.